While Robinson's meteoric rise continues, three great legendary fighters get together for a 1944 war bond drive. Jack Johnson on the left, Harry Wills and Joe Jeanette on the right. As the 67-year-old Johnson waits the start of this all-in-fun exhibition, he thinks back for a moment to a different era. He remembers 1908, his strong, magnificent body in training to fight for the world heavyweight crown. World champion Tommy Burns was simply no match as the great Johnson triumphed easily. But here in 1944, it's all in the spirit of fun, as Johnson and Joe Jeanette playfully go through the motions. But what a rare treat to see this golden moment. In February 1945, Jake LaMotta and Ray Robinson meet for the fourth time. With three exhausting battles between them already, Jake and Ray did not disappoint anyone. Robinson, now 25, was pressed to the limit, but Ray makes it 3 out of 4 as he triumphs again. "1946 sees the invincible Joe Louis record his 22nd title defense, once again over Billy Conn. The Brown Bomber followed Ray's career closely throughout the years, and today recalls his impression of Robinson.
I think pound for pound, he was the greatest of everyone that stepped in the ring. Ray Robinson was the best fighter that ever stepped in the ring because he could punch. And even now, when he used to back away from him, he could knock out with a left hook. I saw him knock out people with left hooks. So generally, a fighter who backs away from someone can't hurt you. But Robinson, when he could hurt you, backing away from you, same as coming into you. I saw him at his best, and he was the best fighter that ever lived, pound for pound.
Just 2 weeks after the Louis Conn bout, Ray takes on Tony Riccio. This rare film, taken by a spectator, is the only existing record of this fight in 1946. Robinson, in magnificent form, sends the crowd home early with a fourth-round TKO. There seems to be no stopping Robinson's rise to the top of the welterweight ladder. 3 weeks later, Ray stops Cliff Beckett, here shown in another unique home movie of this exciting young fighter. Unbelievably, Robinson and Sammy Angot weigh in just 6 days later. With the winner promised a shot at the welterweight title, Robinson and former lightweight champion Angot fought toe-to-toe for 10 punishing rounds. But superior hand speed and accurate counterpunching were the difference as Ray wins a unanimous 10-round decision. Ray takes on Freddie Flores as he continues to climb the welterweight ladder. Flores, a seasoned club fighter, is no match for the awesome two-handed attack of Robinson and falls in 5. Shown in a home movie taken by a friend, Ray relaxes before turning in. The press and boxing fraternity have affectionately nicknamed him Sugar Ray for the sweet manner in which he demonstrates his classic moves in the ring. All that Ray has worked and trained for will be severely tested tomorrow night. Ray will enter the ring in Madison Square Garden with the welterweight championship of the world on the line. Tommy Bell on the left and Ray Robinson square off for the most important fight of their lives. They're fighting for the world title left vacant by champion Marty Servos' retirement. There can be no mistakes. Robinson, boxing brilliantly, lands repeatedly with rapier-like lefts. Bell takes everything Ray can throw and lands telling blows of his own. After a masterful 15 rounds of boxing, Ray Robinson becomes the new welterweight champion of the world. In 1947, the boxing world is stunned. While gaining a controversial 15-round victory over Jersey Joe Walcott, Joe Louis hits the canvas twice. It had been 6 years since Joe was last decked. Scrappy Georgie Abrams is Ray's 1947 opponent in a non-title encounter. The rugged Abrams' latest barn burner was a close, tough 15-round loss to murderous punching Tony Zale for the middleweight title. The fighters are introduced. There were no professional movies taken. Fortunately, a fan in the far-off balcony shot this somewhat viewable home movie. Robinson is seen pummeling Abrams, demonstrating a superb mastery of boxing skills. Explosive combinations like these brought the Madison Square Garden crowd to its feet and gained Ray Robinson a one-sided unanimous decision. June 1947, Robinson signs to fight California's Jimmy Doyle in the first defense of his welterweight crown. What took place before and after that fight will live in Robinson's memory forever.
The night before the fight with him, I dreamed in my sleep that I knocked him out and he died in the ring. And I got up that morning and I told the commission that I wasn't going to fight. And they said, why? And I told them what I had dreamed, Aldo. They said, oh, Ray, no, that's just a dream. And they called a Catholic priest and a minister. And they came and they talked to me and told me to go ahead with the fight. And just like we dreamed, Aldo, I hit him a left hook and he died right there in the ring. It's terrible when you have a premonition before. You know, I had the premonition before that this was going to happen. And for a long time, Aldo, I couldn't fight. I couldn't fight. When I started again, I couldn't hit a man hard, you know. I was very trying.
Boxing fans are ecstatic as 1948 produces a wealth of memorable grudge fights. Lewis KO's Walcott. Two great champions meet for the third time. Former middleweight king Tony Zale and champion Rocky Graziano had split two previous meetings. This rubber match belongs to Zale. 1948 sees a Frenchman, Marcel Cerdan, climb to the top of the middleweight ladder with an exciting style. Just for fun, and the cameramen, Cerdan spars with countryman Maurice Chevalier, while the public clamors for a Cerdan-Zale title fight. Cerdan soon becomes a French idol when he captures the World Middleweight Championship. Just 2 days later, Robinson meets leading welterweight contender Kid Gavilan. Although a non-title fight, both men fought furiously and had the Yankee Stadium crowd in a frenzy. Only experience made the difference, as Robinson receives the judge's nod after 10 brilliant action-packed rounds. In 1949, Jake LaMotta, the only man to defeat Robinson, signs to fight middleweight champ Marcel Cerdan. LaMotta forces the action throughout and becomes the new middleweight king when Cerdan is unable to answer the bell for the 10th round. 3 weeks later in Philadelphia, Cuba's Kid Gavilan is given a shot at Ray's welterweight crown. Gavilan is out to revenge his loss to Robinson of 1 year ago. The 29-year-old Robinson is giving away 6 years to his younger challenger. Both men perform brilliantly as they exchange savage punches again and again. When the final bell sounds, Ray Robinson is still champion of the world. In the summer of 1950, Charlie Fusari begins training for his upcoming title fight with Ray. With Robinson undefeated in 7 years, Fusari is faced with a monumental task. Robinson arrives at his training camp in Pompton Lakes to begin the rigors of getting in shape for the Fusari fight. To date, Sugar Ray has had 112 professional fights. He has won 111, an incredible record. The morning of the Robinson and Fusari weigh-in, suddenly a very unusual problem occurs that actually jeopardized Ray's crown.
Wait a minute, Commissioner.
He's all right, Vic.
What do you mean? No, George. Now, just a minute. Let's have it orderly here now. I don't think you've made it, Ray. 147 1/4. That means you're a quarter of a pound overweight. I think you can make the weight, and ordinarily, Vic, the weigh-in would be at 12 o'clock. This time at 11 o'clock, we advance it up for the benefit of the newspaper men and for the fighters and the photographers and so forth. And so you would ordinarily give him an hour to make that quarter of a pound difference.
Well, I'll tell you, Commissioner, ordinarily I would. But due to the fact that this is a championship fight and Sugar's got a quarter of a pound over, I'd prefer that I give that quarter of a pound of sugar to somebody that needed it and get down to the 47 pounds according to our contract.
Don't worry, he'll make it.
Well,
that's nothing to worry about. He'll make it. Very patriotic gesture, but after all, so you've got to make the 47. So we'll give you until 1 o'clock to make that quarter of a pound.
I'll make it before that.
A few hours later.
Let's try it again now. I hope you've done it this time, Ray. Looks like you've made it just a little bit under 147 pounds. And that's for the welterweight championship. What do you think of it, Vic? Are you satisfied?
Well, from here, it looks okay to me.
Well, then that does it, May. Congratulations to you. Both right. May the better man win.
Well, Charlie, good luck to you. I think I need it because I haven't ate a good meal in 5 days.